the circumference of a circle, or using the circumference of a circle to find the radius or the diameter. Okay, so here we have a circle, and we are shown the diameter. Now the formula we're going to use is the circumference, C, is approximately equal to pi times the diameter. Now the reason it's approximate is because I'm going to use a value of 3.14 for pi, and that is an approximation. It is an irrational number. That means its decimal approximation never ends and has no repeating pattern. So basically what this means is that the circumference of a circle is basically close to 3 times the diameter, but a more accurate number instead of 3 is 3.14. So I know that this circumference is roughly 15 centimeters. Let us work out exactly 3.14 times 5, and that gives us 15.7 centimeters. Correct one decimal place. This time we're given the radius, and that means the diameter is twice the radius, so that diameter is 18. So again, let's write down the formula. Circumference is approximately equal to pi times the diameter. I'm going to use 3.14. 3.14 times 18 is 56.52, and correct to one decimal place, that is 56.5. Okay, there are two parts to this question. One of them is that we haven't got a drawing, so I think it's best to draw a circle, and we're told that the radius is 6 meters, and therefore the diameter is 12 meters. And to use the formula, C is approximately equal to pi times the diameter. Now it says leave your answer in terms of pi. So that basically means is don't put a number in for pi. So we'll just keep it as it is. Okay, so pi times 12, and it's typical to write that as 12 times pi, which is 12 pi and 12 pi meters. Okay, in this question we're being asked to find the perimeter of the semicircle. Now the perimeter of a shape is the distance all the way around it, and here we have a straight edge, which is why we're using the word perimeter. So we are essentially going to imagine walking around this shape. You'd walk along there and then walk around a half of a circle. So we could separate it like this. We know that this is 8 centimeters, and we've got to find this half of the semicircle. So C is equal to pi times the diameter. I'm going to use 3.14 times 8, and 3.14 times 8 gives us 25.12 centimeters. But we don't want a full circle, we only want half of that, so we need to divide that by 2, and that gives us 12.56. We now need to add the 8 centimeters to that, and that gives us 20.56 centimeters. And if we were to round that to one decimal place, that would be 20.6 centimeters. Again, we're going to find the perimeter of this shape. Imagine we walked around that straight edge there, which is also 7 because it's also the radius of the circle. That's also 7. And then we'd walk around 1/4 of the circle. So if we had the full circle, the diameter would be 14. So the circumference would be pi times the diameter. So always write down that formula. So that'd be 3.14 times 14. And that gives us 43.96. But we don't want the circumference of a full circle, we want 1/4 of that. So we divide that by 4, and that gives us 10.99. So if we then do 10.99, add 7 and add 7, that will give us 24.99. If we were to round that to one decimal place, that would be 25.0, and we would have to put the 0 in there. to indicate that that's what we have done. A circular plate has circumference 37.7 centimeters. Calculate the diameter. So this time we are given the circumference, the distance around this circular plate, and we've been asked to find the diameter. Okay, we're going to write down the formula. C is approximately equal to pi times d. This time we know that the circumference is 37.7, pi is 3.14, and we've got to find the diameter. So the diameter is 37.7 divided by 3.14, and that gives us 12.006 actually. And if we were to round that to 2 decimal places, that would be 12.01 centimeters. The final question, we've been asked to find the circumference of, we've been asked to find the radius of the circle, given that the circumference is 4 meters. So again, we've got the distance around the shape, and we've been asked to find this value for r here. Okay, I'm going to write down the formula. C is equal to pi times d. The circumference is 4. I'm going to use 3.14 times d. And then if we divide by 3.14 on both sides, that will give us the value for d, and that gives us 1.27. We've not been asked to find the diameter. We've been asked to find the radius. So the diameter is 2 radiuses. So 1 radius is the diameter times 2, divided by 2. So we divide 1.27 by 2, and that gives us 0.6369 as the value for r, and if we were to round that to 2 decimal places, that would be 0.64 meters, and that would in fact be 64 centimeters in this case.